everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over a little bit of backstory of how I became a bodybuilder. So let's see, for most of my life, I have been a Missouri licensed cosmetologist and nail tech. I was self-employed for over 20 years. And suddenly the F5 tornado hit Joplin, Missouri on May 22nd, 2011. If you all have never heard of the May 22nd tornado, we made history. They've made documentaries about it. Books are out about it. But anyways, I got a little laxed over the last 20 years, and I let my insurance lap, and I had no insurance when the tornado came. The money that I did have in savings, I spent on photography equipment because I had been a professional photographer. I was doing that on the side since 2010, so like 11 years. And I was okay with that, just for the simple fact that possibly mentally, physically, I needed a career change. And luckily, I had incorporated Sheila's Photography Studio, LLC, started doing professional photography full time. So if you can imagine 20 years being on my feet, walking back and forth to the supply room, walking back and forth to the shampoo bowl, on my feet 12 hours a day, barely had time to eat. It kept me not in shape, but I wasn't a couch potato. I didn't have a desk job. And then I suddenly went to professional photography full time. I specialized in seniors and weddings. And I would go to a wedding and photograph a wedding for 12 hours and then sit behind my computer day after day, 4 weeks, editing 400 to 600 images for the bride and groom. Needless to say, I put on some weight. So I went to a photography conference in St. Charles, Missouri. Met a girl there. We hung out, went to some classes together, and became friends. And we're friends on Facebook. I noticed that she was doing a bikini competition. And so I reached out to her and I was like, what is that? What are you doing? And she kind of explained it to me. And I said, well, who's your coach? Because, I've gained some weight, changing careers. So who's your coach? So she told me her coach name was Taylor. So I contacted Taylor and I hired her for, it was either 8 or 12 weeks. And I told her, I was like, I do not want to be a bikini competitor. I said, I'm 42 years old. At the time I was, and I was like, I don't want to be a bikini competitor. I just want to lose this weight that I gained having a career change. I just want to look and feel better, whatever. And she kind of laughed. And she's like, okay, not a problem. She said, I'll just be your online coach, just, lifestyle coach. I was like, great. So that was in June or July, and what was it, 2013. And that September, my photography friend Brooke was doing her show in Kansas City, which is about 2.5 hours from me. And I was like, hey, I said, I'm a professional photographer. How about I come photograph you at your competition? She's like, that sounds perfect. So I went, watched the entire show. It was the NANBF Kansas City Classics. And I was like, wow. I was impressed. I was intrigued. I was overwhelmed. I wanted to know more. I thought I was hooked. And when it was over, I contacted Taylor and I was like, guess what? I think I want to try this just once. I was 43 before I stepped on stage, and I was still 42 at the time. And she's like, okay, great. She says, we'll do the Kansas City Classics next September. She said, continue doing what you're doing, with your workouts, work out hard, build some muscle, keep your body fat percentage where it is. Don't gain any more weight. You look fantastic. We just need you to build more muscle. So I did. I hit it hard in the gym, and 9 months I worked so hard, lifted heavy, set PRs. I felt like I was gaining some muscle. Again, kept my body fat, at a steady point. And she says, you know, 12 weeks out from show, I want you to come to a posing class and we'll start your prep. So 9 months later, I was so excited. I drove to Kansas City to Gold's Gym, and I walked into the room and Taylor's jaw dropped to the floor. And I was taken back because I was like, did I put on more body fat? I don't think I did. You know, why is she looking at me like this? And mind you, the last time she had seen me, I wouldn't want to say skin and bone. I had no muscle, like none. And I walked in and I was like, why are you staring at me like that? And she's like, where the F did those muscles come from? And I was like, well, you told me to build some muscle. And she's like, yeah, wow. So anyways, she didn't say it, but she was a little concerned that I had built too much muscle. Like I said, I've only trained for 9 months. I was in my 40s, but apparently I grow muscle very quickly. And I am an all natural bodybuilder anyway. So I could tell she was a little concerned, but she didn't say anything. I knew nothing about the bikini category. I knew nothing about bodybuilding. I knew nothing about competing. So I just let it go. When I did compete in September at the KC Classics in 2014, I didn't place, which I wasn't expecting to. It was my very first show. I'd only trained for 9 months, cut for 12. I wasn't devastated. I was like, this is pretty cool. You know, I want to keep doing this. And so I got judges' feedback, and out of 8 judges, it was unanimous. And they said, you have too much muscle. You know, you need to advance to the figure category. And that broke my heart because I knew the difference between bikini and figure. Posing is completely different. Everything's completely different. And I was like, okay, it was a natural bodybuilding show. So I'm going to go switch to NPC, which is not tested. So I competed there. I did make top 5 in bikini. But again, the judges' feedback was, you have too much muscle. Your body's more like figure. You need to advance to the figure category. And I was like, God bless. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So the next couple of shows, the NPC shows that I actually did Masters Bikini, Masters Figure crossover in the same show. I did Masters, I did Open, and I did Novice, which means I stepped on stage 12 times. I was exhausted. Actually, I stepped on stage 14 times because, believe it or not, I got top 5 in bikini and I also got top 5 in figure. And I'm freaking confused. So I was like, this is not helping me any. I'm still placing top 5 in bikini and figure. Am I in between? I don't know. So I decided to do still bikini figure crossover for another show. And again, top 5. And I was getting frustrated. I didn't know where I was at. I didn't know where my body was at. It's not like, you know, I was placing in one and not the other, which would tell me which division to go to. Plus, I will be quite honest with you, I do not like figure posing. And I don't feel like I'm big enough to be competitive in figure posing. So I thought, well, I'll take a couple of years off. The last time I competed was 2017. And I thought, well, I'll take a couple of years off. I will just build more muscle or do something and just get my mind straight and decide, do I want to stick with bikini or do I want to build more muscle for figure? I don't know. I'll just play it by ear. So 2017 and 2018 and part of 19, I thought, well, I will take that time, a full 2 years to build muscle. Well, back when I was getting ready to start prep again for my next show, I had to have a lower lumbar MRI and some x-rays. So the census was, I have 2 slip vertebrae. I have advanced degenerative disc disease to the point where my L5 is almost gone and what's left is bulged. And I was devastated. So I had to have 2 epidural spinal injections 9 days apart. And that took me out of the gym for 4 to 6 months. Couldn't train upper body for 3 to 4 months, and I couldn't train legs for 6 months. So that took me out of prep. So by the time I was ready to go back to the gym, I went back to the gym hardcore, you know, watched what I did, listened to my body. And I thought, well, I will just start prep right after the first of the year. I'll give myself a couple more months to heal. And then the pandemic hit. So I wasn't even about to prep in 2020. And in 2021, I thought, you know what, this is just not in the cards for me. I'm 50 years old now. I'm going to retire. I may do like a WBFF or, you know, go out with a big bang, but I'm just going to retire. And then in July of 2021, I actually reached out to a coach of Team Pro Physique, and they're out of Tampa, Florida. And we got to talking, and he's like, I know what your body looks like. What do you want to do? And I was like, I'll be totally honest with you. I hate figure. I want to do bikini. And he said, then this do bikini. And I was like, okay. And he goes, well, we're not quite sure what's underneath that body fat. You know, I know you've been training for years and I can see, you know, definition. He said, I will tell you, you will be the most muscular Masters bikini competitor on stage. But he said, let's focus on some glutes and, you know, try not to, you know, grow the hammy or grow the quads a little too much. Let's just focus on the glutes. Let's just focus on overall symmetry. You know, we'll start prep and we'll see where we are. So that's what I'm doing. My first show is July 9th. It's MPC, Missouri State Bodybuilding Championships, and it'll be in Springfield, Missouri. Just to let you know, today is February 25th. So that's how I became a bodybuilder. I am now back to doing photography part-time. I'm working on my 9th certification. I used to be a personal trainer, and now I'm an online fitness and nutrition coach. I'm also a cognitive behavioral therapist, and I specialize in women over 30. So that's how I became a bodybuilder, and that's where I'm at today. So I will be doing a Back to Bikini series. So the reason I called it Back to Bikini is because I started out bikini, did bikini figure, and I'm going back to bikini. So watch out for my series, Back to Bikini. And I'm about 19 weeks out. So I'm not going to post a whole lot of videos right now up front, just for the simple fact that nothing's really changed, you know, since off season. I am a flexible dieter. I don't follow a meal plan, and my workouts didn't change much. I am checking in every week. I do post my 4-week progress pictures on my Facebook page. So if you are my Facebook group, so if you're not a member of my Facebook group, I will link that link below and where you can join. But watch out for my Back to Bikini series, because I will be journaling and telling you all about my return to the stage. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.